Hello guys, I'm Paris the Options guy and welcome to the No BS Trading Podcast. I hope you guys are doing great and this is episode number 33 of the No BS Trading Podcast. And what are we going to discuss this week? So we are going to first of all discuss how the inflation data has come in the last week from the US as well as from the India, and then we are also going to discuss how the markets can move next week given that Trump is finally starting his term next week. Okay, and then we are also going to talk about the two new IPOs that are coming in the Indian markets next week and if you should apply to them or not. And then in the end we are also going to discuss how the markets can move in the coming week given that Bank Nifty has given a very good pullback and Nifty has also given a good pullback. So how will the markets move in the coming week? Are they going to fall again or are they going to continue to move up from here? So stay tuned till the end because this is going to be a very interesting episode for you to listen to. But without any further delay, let's just start with the episode. Talking about the major events that happened in the previous week, we had the India CPI data on Monday and that came out at 5.22%. Expectations were that it would come out at 5.3%, so slightly lower than expectations, not any sort of a big surprise, but anyways, a good thing if it is coming below expectations. So even right now, there is a bit of uncertainty regarding what the RBI will do in its February interest rate decision because the inflation number, if you see, sure, it has come out slightly below expectations, but it is still not very much below expectations. If this inflation number would have come at 5% or below that, then we could have said with more certainty that RBI will cut rates in its February interest rate decision, right? In its February meeting. But even right now, I think there is a bit of uncertainty, especially considering the fact that it is the first ever meeting with the new RBI governor, basically the new RBI governor, right? So aside from that, nothing really important in that data point. So on Tuesday, then we had the US PPI data, the Producers Price Index data, and PPI has come out at 3.3%. Expectations were that it would come out at 3.5%. So a good number, like slightly below expectations, by a good amount actually, not just slightly. But you have to keep one thing in mind is that PPI is still rising. Okay, just because PPI has come below expectations does not mean that it has stopped rising. PPI, if you consider from the previous month, PPI is still rising. And then on Wednesday, we had the US CPI data, that is Consumers Price Index, and that came out at 2.9% in line with the expectations, but still rising as compared to the previous month where the CPI came out at 2.7%. And then on Thursday, we had the retail sales data, which came out at 0.4%. Expectations were that it would come out at 0.6%. Again, came out a little bit below expectations. Now, all of these three data points are indicating that inflation numbers might improve going forward, okay? Because if you see, all of these data points have either come in line or below expectations. But you need to keep one thing in mind is that be it US CPI, be it US PPI, as compared to the previous month's reading, they are still rising. It is not that they've stopped rising, and this is the biggest problem. Sure, they might have come below expectations or in line with the expectation. It does not mean that CPI has just stopped. And if we really want to measure if the PPI, if the inflation overall has stopped, then we will need a few months of data, such improving data, okay? And going forward, we would also need a down, you can say a down tick in the inflation numbers, right? Because if, as I said, that on a month over month basis, basically on monthly readings, if you see, inflation is still continuing to go up, be it any metric, be it core CPI, core CPI, normal CPI, PPI, anything that you take, inflation is still rising, okay? So anyways, this is a good basically you can say development in the inflations, basically in the whole inflation department. But still, I would say that wait for a little while, let a trend develop over here, okay? Because this 1 month maybe the data might be good, but going forward data might again start to deteriorate, okay? So keep that in mind. But yes, that is what happened in the previous week. Now let's move on to what is going to happen in the next week. Now, talking about what is going to happen next week, we don't really have any sort of major events that we need to look forward to, but we have only one event, and that is Donald Trump's inauguration, which is on January 20th. Okay. Now, keep this in mind that volatility will be higher in crypto market rather than stocks. Okay, the whole equity market and stuff will not react as much as compared to the crypto market. Okay, so keep this in mind. And one thing that can happen in once Donald Trump comes in is a sell off in the crypto market, because what happens is that such events like Donald Trump's inauguration and stuff are considered as bullish by the general public, right? Because Donald Trump is bullish on crypto and stuff. So the general public thinks that when Donald Trump comes, the crypto market will start to blow up and stuff, right? But what happens is that these things are already factored into the price of cryptocurrencies, okay? And that's why you will not see an up move once Donald Trump comes in, right? So what can happen is a sell-off that follows after January 20th in the crypto market. Okay, so keep this in mind, and we will discuss this next week, how if it turns out to be true or not. Okay, I believe that until January 20th we can see a bullishness going into the crypto market, but after January 20th we can see a good sell off in the crypto market. So keep this in mind. We will discuss this next week and see if my sort of prediction or analysis turns out to be true, right? But aside from that, nothing really to discuss for the next week. So let's move on to the IPOs that are coming in our markets next week. Talking about the IPOs that are coming in our markets next week, we have two IPOs that are coming. And first of all, the first one is Stallion India Fluorochemicals Limited. Okay, and this is a 199 crore IPO, out of which 160 crores is a fresh issue, and the other 38 crores is a offer for sale. That means this money will go to the promoters of the company who are selling a stake. So this is a good thing that more money is going to the company. Anyways, first of all, should you apply to this IPO for listing gains only? And the answer as of now is yes, because the gray market premium is indicating a listing gain of 44%, which is good and which is above a threshold of 40%. So if this gray market premium continues to hold above 40% on the last day, that is on Monday, so the IPO has actually already started on Thursday and it will close on Monday in the coming week. Okay, so you still have one day to apply, and so if the gray market premium continues to stay above 40% and doesn't dip very heavily on Monday, then you can definitely apply to this IPO for listing gains. Okay, but if you want to invest in this company, should you invest? And let's talk about it. So what does the company first of all do? Right, so the company is engaged in the business of selling refrigerant and industrial gases, different types of gases that are required in refrigerators and in ACs, right, and also in other industrial uses, right? So again, the company mainly sells fluorochemicals. Okay, so these gases that the company makes, right, they are called as fluorochemicals, and you would see these gases being filled up in your AC, in your refrigerators and stuff, right? So if you see sometimes when your AC goes does not work, the repair guy says that you need to fill up the gas again, right? And this is the gas that is filled up in your AC is the type of gas that this company manufactures, right? And so this company has a good market, first of all, has a, you can say, like a good customer base is what I'm trying to say, right? And again, the company deals in a lot of industries which have a good you can say growth potential going forward. So overall, a good business model. But how has the company performed in the last 3 financial years? Let's look at that. So in FY22, the revenues were 186 crores. In FY23, they jumped to 226 crores. In FY24, they jumped to 236 crores. So a bit of a moderate growth in the revenues, right? Not very high, but still good enough. Okay, but at the same time, if you see profit after tax numbers, so in FY22, 21 crores. In FY23, 9.7 crores. So the profit dipped. In FY24, 14 crores. Okay, profit has again started to recover. But what is more interesting is that in the first half of FY25, which is this financial year, current financial year, the company has already made a profit of 16 crores. So it looks like the company might just, close somewhere near the profit after tax of 30 crores in this financial year, by the end of this financial year. So it looks like the company is also growing pretty good. So overall, this company looks like a good bet for the future, because again, as I said, that the company is operating in a bit of a not high margin, but rather high growth environment or high growth market. So overall, I think this IPO is definitely worth applying. Please do not so if you want to apply to this IPO, make sure that you're not over allocating your funds to this company. If you have a small portfolio, then think about maybe selling off your shares after applying to this IPO, selling off partially your shares after applying to. But if you have big portfolio, then you can definitely go on and apply to this IPO. The whole IPO is also priced well. There is no problem with the pricing also. It is not like very very good pricing also, but it is at the same time, the company is still also not very very expensive, so that is a good thing. So overall, I think you should definitely look forward to applying investing in this company if you want to. Now the second IPO that we are going to talk about is Denta Waters and Infra Solution Limited. Okay, and this is a 220 crore IPO, and all of it will go to the company, and the promoter is not selling his stake, which is a very very good thing. Okay, so should you apply to this IPO for listing gains? The answer as of now is no, because currently the listing gains is the gray market premium is only at 15%. So if by the last date of this IPO, which is going to be January 24th, by the last day of this IPO, so the IPO opens on January 22nd, closes on January 24th. If by the last day of this IPO, the listing gains or the gray market premium goes up to 40% or above that, then you can think about investing in it for the listing gains only. But if the if the gray market premium continues to stay below 40%, then don't apply for listing gains. Okay, but should you apply to this IPO for investment purposes? So first of all, let's talk about what the company does. So the company basically makes water and infrastructure solutions. Okay, so all types of water management solutions, right? Maybe there is some sort of a water, water treatment project, or you can say water discharge project, right? Or some sort of a water distribution project that the company water distribution project that comes up, the company can do all of that, right? So I hope you guys understand, right? So if let's say some sort of municipality, some city's municipality has to distribute waters and they want some sort of a system, the company can make the infrastructure and all for that. So basically this is what they do. I hope you guys understand. Pretty simple, right? So they design, they install, they commission all of these water management infrastructure projects. Okay, and again, what is more interesting is that they have 98 acres of land in Karnataka where they produce where they produce coffee, pepper and cardamom, and also sell that to earn extra income. Basically sell that to earn even more income. So you can say diversification at its best. Anyways, that is not their main business. The main business, as I said, is the water infrastructure building. Okay, so I hope you guys understand that. So how has the company been doing? How has the company been doing? If you see in FY22, 119 crores of revenue, FY23, 175 crores, very good jump. FY24, 241 crores. Again, a very, very good jump in FY24 also. And at the same time, if you see, profit after tax has also been increasing, although at a lower pace. If you see FY22, 38 crores of profit, FY23, 50 crores of profit after tax, and FY24, 59 crores of profit after tax. So the company has been growing. That is a good thing, but it looks like there is a bit of a slowdown, I think. But I think the whole water management space, right? I think this is going to be a very, very good space for the next 5 to 6 years. Okay, by until 2030 is what I'm talking about. This water management space is going to be a very good space, because I think going forward the government will need to invest heavily into water management and water infrastructure, because going forward it looks like the water situation in India may also worsen because of, first of all, growing population, overcrowdedness in urban cities and stuff. So that is why I think going forward, the company's future looks very bright. At least for the next 5 years, I think the future is looking pretty bright, and there is a lot of opportunity to grow. And at the same time, if you see the IPO of the sorry, not IPO, but the P of the company post IPO will just be 16, and that is not very high. So, in my opinion, I think this company definitely you can apply to. Definitely, you can invest in this company, but only if you are ready to hold for the next 4 to 5 years. In the next 4 to 5 years, I think we can get this company can give you a very good return on your investment. In the short term, yes, you might face a little bit of a pain in the next, like, let's say 1 year or something, but 1 year, 1.5 year. But going forward, I think this company can perform very well only if you are ready to hold it for the long term. As I said, 4 to 5 years. So if you cannot hold it for the long term, that is fine. Don't invest in this company. But if you can hold it in the long term, definitely go forward and invest in this company. This company looks very good. But yes, that was it for the IPOs that are coming in the next week. Now let's move on to the market analysis for the next week. Now talking about the market analysis for the next week, if you see Nifty moving down 0.9%, but if you see in the daily charts, we did open with a gap down on Monday, but as I said that if we don't move down very fast, we might get a pullback over here and then we might move down. And that is exactly what happened over here. If you see, we did open with a gap down, we did go down, but next day we opened with a gap up and then we saw a pullback over here. So what can happen next week? Now, next week, again on Monday, if you see, we are going to open with a very good gap up, because if you see over here, US markets are up 0.9%, US and Nasdaq is up 1.8%, S&P up 1.1%. So all of these are indicating a very good gap up. Now, this means that this pullback that has come in the markets over here, right? This might result into again up one more up move over here, right? Now keep this in mind. This is not any sort of a reversal from the lower levels. This is again still just a pullback. When will it be considered a reversal? Is when it maybe starts to make some sort of a big double bottom pattern over here, and then we might consider it as a reversal. But as of now, this is still just a pullback. So if you open with a gap up, what can happen? Chances are that we might see a pullback up till 23,600, and then from this level we might again start to move down, because as I said last week is that we might again go back up to take the stop loss of all the sellers who would have sold over here, right? But the market has still not taken the stop loss of sellers who would have sold, let's say, below this support, right? So market might again start to move up over here, go near 23,600, and then start to move down, because anybody who would have sold, let's say, over here, right, when the markets went below this support, they have their stop loss now somewhere over here, right? Somewhere over here they have their stop loss. So this means that market has still not taken their stop loss. So I think what can happen is that market might give you one more pullback on the upside in the next week, in the first half, and then in the second half, depending on the price action in during the week, we can start to see negativity in the the in the end of the week, near the end of the week. Okay, so I hope you guys understand. Now, what can you do in the 15-minute chart? Let's see. Okay, so in the 15-minute chart, if you see, we have closed near somewhere near 23,200. We'll open somewhere near 23,300. Okay, 300 to 400 in this area. So all we need to do is look for any sort of seller trap, right? So let's say market opens somewhere near gap up over here, wait for a little bit of pullback, and if the market starts to make a lower low, all you need to see is when does the market start to make a higher high over here, because some people will sell over here, and the market, if market breaks this low, the first swing that the market makes, if it breaks it and then starts to come above it, chances are that market then might take a reversal from there, because it will take the stop loss of all the sellers who sold over there. Okay, so anyways, that is one thing. Now talking about bank nifty over here, if you see in the daily chart, bank nifty exactly taking pullback and starting to move down, right? Pretty picture perfect, but this picture perfect scene will get destroyed next week. Not destroyed, but will get disturbed next week, because we are opening with a gap up. Now in bank nifty, we will straight up open with a gap up somewhere near, you can say, 48,800, right? Somewhere around that level itself, 48,800. So bank nifty is a bit more negative as compared to nifty. So for bank nifty, we will not rush as fast as we are rushing in nifty. Okay, so For Bank Nifty, all we need to do is that, let's say we open somewhere near 48,800, we will want to pull back till 48,600. And in this area of 48,600 to 500, all we need to do is wait for positive price action to be built, and then we will go ahead and take a long position, preferably only till 49,000. Keep this in mind that Bank Nifty is not as bullish as Nifty, because of which keeping smaller targets in Bank Nifty would be better. And if you really want to take a good long position, take it in Nifty. So yeah, that is it for the market analysis for the next week. Again, next week, in the middle of the week, somewhere near Wednesday, Thursday, we will need to reassess the situation and see what exactly is the market going to do. So yeah guys, that was it for this week, and thank you very much for watching till the end. I really hope you enjoyed this episode and learned something new from it. But yes, next week you're going to get a very big surprise, so stay tuned for that. You are going to get more updates on my Instagram, so do follow me over there. Link is in the description. But yeah, as I said, that I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and learned something new from it, and you didn't waste your time over here. But anyways, if you have any new suggestions for the podcast or any changes that you want in the podcast, do let me know in the comments, or DM me anywhere on social media, and I will make sure that I see your comment, or that I try to make those changes, right? So anyways, yeah, that was it for this week, and I will see you guys in another episode in another week. Bye bye.